outlasted the jockeying with Stars 4-2, and it was a nail-biter between the BMES Warriors and LAS Buccaneers, but the Warriors won the day, the final score 3-2, and the Sister Mary Panthers shut out the Sunland Stingers, taking that one in a shutout 4-0. So that's my time, everyone, but your local forecast is next. I'm Shane Stubbs, and as Mark Twain said, the secret of getting ahead is getting started.
Tonight's weather forecast is brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
'Cause it's so beautiful.
I have been coming to this island since I was 12 years old. It didn't take me long to realize the rich history it has here. When I bought this island in 2018, I fulfilled a lifelong dream. The goal is not only to preserve the memories I made over those years, but to make new ones and to give others the opportunity to do the same. As we go through this process, it has become clear to me, we aren't just rebuilding an island, we're reviving a legend.
#1 team in the north. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
And that concludes the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. I'm Shalia Rowe.
I'm Shane Stubbs.
Thanks so much for tuning in. Here's a live look at the Bahamas Tonight, coming your way next.
From us this Tuesday night, with Labor Day on the horizon, a temperature check from the Minister on Labor and the country's workforce. Plus, an update tonight on housing affordability here in the Bahamas and the concerns that too many are still being priced out. And an appeal for compassion and action. The Cancer Society needs your help. Those stories plus the day's other news this late night, Tuesday, June 2nd, 2026.
The Bahamas Tonight at 11. The final word starts now.
And it is good to have you with us this late night. I'm Corvell Pyfrom. Our big story here at 11, scores of industrial agreements signed and the country looks at a model for labor relations. As Labor Day approaches, the Minister of Labor is giving her assessment of the country's labor climate, suggesting that while it might not be perfect, significant strides have been made. Starting us off here at 11, Cleopatra Murphy.
Stable is how Minister of Labor, Public Service and National Insurance, the Honourable Pia Glover-Roll, is describing the labor climate in the country, despite union protests from time to time or other forms of industrial action. With just days until the 2026 Labor Day parade, Glover-Roll is touting what she says are overall harmonious industrial relations between unions and government and strong tripartite stakeholder conversations.
I want people to understand that stable labor environment looks like the ability to have conversation, the ability to negotiate, the ability to arrive at a successful 64 industrial agreements signed, which comes through a negotiation and a mediation process. This does not say that there will not be challenges. That's when negotiations come to a compromise and we decide to move forward with an agreement.
The minister, who later this week will attend the International Labor Organization's 114th session, now taking place in Geneva, Switzerland, says the body is looking at the Bahamas as a case study for its strides on the labor front. Realistically, she admits there will always be challenges, but insists solutions come through conversations.
There are many countries in the world. We sometimes take for granted that labor, employer confederations, and the government always sit at a table and have relationships and have conversation. In some countries, that is not possible. There is violent outbreak. We don't have that here.
After putting plans in place to update the Employment and Industrial Relations Acts, Glover Rule, who continues in the same role post the May 12th general elections, says she is eager to take the groundbreaking legislation across the finish line. Digital transformation, climate change, and social justice are major components of the legislation.
How are we improving the conditions for our workforce? Not only compensation and benefits, but their well-being. So you see a focus on mental health, their families. You see us talking about extending maternity leave and implementing paternity leave, but ensuring that the whole man or the whole woman, the worker, is in a good space mentally, emotionally, so that they can perform and be productive on a job.
The Minister of Labor says she's looking forward to the Labor Day parade to not only march in unity and solidarity, but to also celebrate the contributions of workers nationwide. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Cleopatra Murphy.
Staffers from the Department of Information, Communications and Technology have on more than one occasion staged protests outside the office of the Prime Minister in a push for promotions, reclassifications and regularization. Labor Minister Glover Rule says she met recently with BPSU President Kingsley Ferguson over those issues, but that some matters take a longer time to address.
They have the right to agitate for that, and I am informed by the president of the BPSU that is a work in progress. They are looking to have conversations with the new Minister of Economic Affairs, and we continue to work towards progressing matters for the workers. It's never that we don't want to. Sometimes it's just that some matters are easier to resolve than others.
A hurricane policy can look good on paper until a storm exposes what it does not cover. As the season begins, insurance officials are warning homeowners to check their coverage now before underinsurance, outdated property values, or named system leaves them with fewer options. Lyle Maycock reports.
The first storm does not have to be the map for homeowners to already be exposed. As the 2026 Atlantic hurricane season begins, J.S. Johnson Insurance Vice President with responsibility for claims, Edward Aubrey, says the time to check a policy is now, not 2 or 3 days before a storm.
Start checking and see what those things are that you may be in doubt about. For example, what is your home insured for? Do you have both your home and contents insured? What are the sums insured? Are they adequate?
Aubrey is suggesting homeowners review the replacement value of their property, contents coverage, hurricane deductibles, and what their policy actually defines as household contents. The risk is that many people may try to lower the bill now, only to find out after a storm that the policy cannot carry the full cost of the loss.
Many times we find that people insure what they can afford rather than insuring what is the value of the item.
That issue became even more important after Hurricane Dorian in 2019, when major losses in Abaco and Grand Bahama forced many homeowners to face the difference between being insured and being adequately insured. Aubrey said homeowners should also know there is a point when waiting becomes too late.
Once you have a name system and it's definitely headed towards the Bahamas, as instructed by the weather personnel, then insurers will put out a moratorium saying that you're not allowed to purchase hurricane insurance until that event has passed.
As hurricane season begins, J.S. Johnson says reviewing your insurance coverage now will help bring peace of mind and help avoid costly surprises later. Reporting for the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Lyle Maycock.
Thank you, Lyle. And that music means it is time for a break here tonight. When we come back, a man is killed just outside his home here in the capital. We've got the latest on the country's latest murder. That after the break. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight. Stay with us.
Imagine a world where every brand knows your name and every store awaits your arrival. Elite shopping, travel where luxury is a lifestyle and every journey feels like home. Dine where every flavor is just for you, every table reserved, and every moment a taste of perfection. Make every big moment even bigger. Experience banking where wealth isn't just managed, it's maximized. Step into a world without limits. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
Big sandwich. I really like the honey mustard sauce. And then like the crispy bacon on it as well.
Oh, it's pepper jack cheese. I love the spice. I love the crunch.
I love the original sandwich, but just that simple addition of bacon was like over the top.
The chicken is really good.
I like it. I like it a lot.
I rate this a 10 out of 10. I'd eat this again.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
As we continue here this late night, what really happened to American Lynette Hooker 2 months ago? And here's why that's still a burning question. What authorities initially ruled as a disappearance over in Abaco on April 2nd has now shifted to a more intense investigation after new evidence has emerged. Our Raven Davis traveled to Abaco today and has more for us in this report.
That is correct. Well, behind me, roughly 4 nautical miles offshore, is Elbow Key, the general area where search operations are expected to take place for missing American woman Lynette Hooker. Now, authorities can confirm that new GPS and data location have brought U.S. Coast Guard divers back to Abaco nearly 2 months after her disappearance, though exact search locations have not yet been confirmed. You may recall that on April 4, Brian Hooker and his wife were aboard a dinghy near Hopetown when he reported that rough seas caused her to fall overboard. Despite extensive search efforts at the time, she was never recovered. Today, residents here in Abaco expressing mixed views about the renewed search and whether it will lead to answers in the case.
I doubt it, especially in the water, I doubt it. But then they're not sure exactly where she is. The possibility she could be on land. Who knows?
Some residents say while they understand the efforts being made, they are unsure how successful the renewed search will be, given ocean conditions in the area.
And concern would be with the currents and, the currents coming in and out, the tides. I mean, nothing is going to stay in place. It's not like you're searching a lake or an enclosed body of water. The waters here open up to the larger ocean, so you can't have any idea where the currents would have taken anything.
Now, the case has drawn widespread attention both locally and internationally. However, one resident says it has little impact on day-to-day life in the community.
On the ground is when you're dealing with a foreign national. I mean, the reality is persons do feel that there are 2 sets of playbooks that we play by, one for the locals and one for the foreigners. So while the humanity aspect it's a very, very sad and tragic story, for whichever way it pans out, I don't think it has direct impact with the day-to-day lives of locals.
But what we can tell you is that Brian Hooker has not been charged and has maintained his innocence throughout the investigation. For now, the focus remains on these waters as search teams work to determine exactly what happened 2 months ago. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Raven Davis. Back to you.
Thank you, Raven. And back here in the capital, a busy few days for detectives who early this morning were on the scene of a fatal shooting in western New Providence. In the still of the night, the victim's body was bagged, hoisted onto a gurney, and rolled into a waiting white hearse that was escorted by police outside the typically quiet community of Tropical Gardens. Police have so far determined this much.
At about 12:30, had just arrived at his residence when he was accosted and fatally shot as he was exiting his vehicle. We're asking anyone with any information that can assist us in our investigation to kindly contact the police. The deceased is in his mid-40s.
Equally troubling, the uptick in apparent suicides. The latest here in New Providence Monday morning, prompting a response from Minister of Social Services, Senator the Honorable Barbara Cartwright, who first extended condolences to the families, friends, and loved ones affected. At the same time, stressing that such losses are a sobering reminder of the importance of mental health, compassion, and community support. No one, the minister says, should feel they must face life's difficulties alone. There was also the reminder that reaching out for help is a sign of strength and that support is available. Anyone in crisis can at any time contact the National Suicide Prevention Hotline. We want to give you those numbers tonight. They are 322-2763 or 422-2763. The growing number of breast cancer cases among young Bahamian women is still a major concern for a local breast cancer support group. LaDawn Davis sat down with the organization's president to find out more about the stats, advanced treatments, and early detection.
Worrisome statistics from the Bahamas National Cancer Registry revealed that in 2023, 136 Bahamian women in their late 20s to early 40s were newly diagnosed with breast cancer. Surprisingly, 3 men encountered a similar experience. While data for this year is still being collected, 20-year breast cancer survivor and president of the Sister Sister Breast Cancer Support Group, Chantal Cox Hutchinson, says figures among this age group are way too high.
Unfortunately, these women, when they come to us, they're at a stage 3. And so we are very alarmed at the time it takes between diagnosis and getting to see that oncologist. In particularly if you're going through the public healthcare system, and we understand that the public healthcare system is inundated with multiple cases, a lot of cases.
Still, for many women battling breast cancer, the journey is oftentimes a difficult and lonely one.
A lot of people focus on, the physical journey of the individual, but family support, friend support, church support, it's all there. Doctor support, it's all there. And if you look online, if you look at some of these cancer groups that are out there, the unfortunate thing and the theme you'll see is that friends walk away when I was diagnosed with cancer. Family walk away when I was diagnosed with cancer, because a lot of people cannot relate.
Further, the price tag associated with fighting the disease, a hefty one. According to Cox Hutchinson, well over $100,000 for advanced treatments. Early detection is still key.
One of the things we battle a lot in this country with regards to not just breast cancer is encouraging individuals to go and get checked up. I think we ignore things until it's too late. A lot of our women, last year, Dr. Manu and myself, we were on a brief talk show, and one of the things he raised is the delay between diagnosis and getting treatment. And I think that's partially because a lot of times we do not go for our annual checkup.
Looking ahead, Cox hopes NGOs linked to all forms of cancers partner with the government to upgrade its data gathering. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm LaDawn Davis.
Behind the luxury suites, world-famous attractions, and 5-star guest experience on Atlantis Paradise Island is a workforce helping keep one of the Caribbean's most recognizable resorts running each day. The resort is famous for turning the spotlight on its own team members, this time honoring nearly 150 employees for excellence in leadership, service, and dedication. Swanson Gibson Jr. takes us inside Atlantis's Quartz Awards ceremony.
Globally branded as one of the most premier vacation destinations in the world, not only does the Atlantis Paradise Island Resort offer its guests the ultimate hospitality experience, but it ensures its team members are rewarded for their invaluable contributions to its operations. Scores of staff members from various departments occupied the Atlantis Movie Theater Tuesday for the hotel's first award ceremony of the year, with nearly 150 professionals recognized for their diligence, service, and leadership to the resort's image.
I've been working for Atlantis for the past 20 years. My job comes to me with a passion. I try to do my best every day. I come to work early and I go home late. It doesn't matter the hours spent or not being paid, but my guest is satisfied and my staff is happy. So I'm appreciative of my team every day and every moment I spend at Atlantis.
It's a humbling experience. When you come every day, what you try to do is duplicate good performance. You can't sit down and say, well, okay, I did something great today, and I expect what you did today to take care of tomorrow. You come back and you try to duplicate that same good performance, and you take things to another level.
Chief Operating Officer of Atlantis, Vaughn Roberts, discussed how events such as the Quartz Awards optimize great rapport and camaraderie among staff members.
It's really important. I mean, the whole room is filled with supporters, people who help the individuals to be successful. And it's also an inspiration for everybody. People who are not nominated have they're inspired to kind of perform above and beyond. We're in the service business and we're calling our team members to give excellent service every day, and we have to recognize them. This first ceremony is that, but we do recognition every day, all day, just recognizing strong performance of our team members. It is so important in order to continue to elevate the service.
The 147 Quartz Awards nominees will advance to Atlantis' 4-year ceremony, having a chance to be honored as leader or team member of the year. This momentous event will occur in February of 2027. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Swansea Gibson Jr.
And we'll have a look at sports with Amajal Knowles when we continue.
Cycling Nationals is set for this weekend in Exuma. Details of that story and more coming up in sports.
Hi. Hello? Hey, girl. I have Wendy's. I'm trying to go to Essence Fest. Wendy's and Coca-Cola want to take you and your bestie to New Orleans. July 3rd through 5th is Essence Fest, and you could be traveling VIP style. Roxy? Tenders? Tenders. All you gotta do is upgrade any premium lunch combo 1 through 12 or a salad to a large, like a spicy number 6, add cheese and bacon, or a Dave's Classic, or my personal favorite, Tendies. This will now serve as your final boarding call for Flight 735, service into Essence Fest. Boarding now. Nola! We coming back?
Well, welcome to your Tuesday Sports Check, everyone. I'm Amajal Knowles. Topping Sports is the first week in June, and a number of our local sporting federations set to hold their nationals this summer. And out the gate sprinting, well, rather pedaling, will be the Bahamas Cycling Federation, set to hold their nationals and time trials this weekend over in Exuma. President Roy Colebrook and General Secretary Byron Turbo Musgrove stopping by the ZNS studios to give us the rundown.
Well, we expect the show to be at Exuma. We're taking about 40 persons from New Providence. Grand Bahamas is said to have about 25. Exuma itself has a big contingent down there of young junior cyclists. We have 2 from Andres. And so, yeah, we're ready to go.
We expect excitement. We expect thrilling. We expect young men and women to compete fiercely for the crown of national champion. And so you can expect the cyclists from Freeport, Exuma, Eleuthera, Nassau to be competitive. We have a huge contingency of youngsters that are being developed in Exuma, Andros, Eleuthera, and in Grand Bahama, and of course New Providence. And so the roads are going to be it's going to be littered with youngsters, and that is what our mantra is develop young people, young talent, so that we can expose them and give them the great opportunity that the Federation is all about.
With the majority of national championships taking place in the capital, Colebrook on why Exuma.
Well, Exuma, last year we were down in Exuma. The committee voted to have the nationals in whichever island in the Bahamas, and so last year was voted Exuma, and it went off so well until they voted Exuma again. Hilly terrains and everything else, and so it's a real challenge for the cyclists in the road race. But apart from the road race, we're also having the time trials and the gravel race on Friday. And so the whole idea about it is to have something in the islands that's not interfering with something else, that really brings a boost to the island as relates to roaming and food and the likes.
Race action is expected to get underway on Friday. Switching gears, but still on the Family Islands, this time over in Eleuthera. The Bahamas Striping group of companies is doing their part to help cultivate the proper facilities to help produce the next batch of Bahamian track and field stars. This as the BSGC recently completed renovations at the track, the Preston H. Aubrey High School in Rock Sound, Eleuthera, a new rubberized surface insulation that also features specially designed exchange zones, highlighted in the gold color of the Bahamian flag. Bahamas Striping group of companies General Manager Melanie Roach says the design will help athletes become more familiar with proper exchange distances during training.
They have a track that world-class athletes run on, so we expect great things. The coach is, he is over the moon thrilled with this, because I don't think any other high school has this. I think this is the first in the Bahamas that has this type material.
Additionally, the facility is also equipped with areas for the long jump, high jump, shot put, discus, javelin, and more, with additional sporting equipment expected to arrive soon.
equipment, like all the javelins, the shot puts, the discus, all of the tapes and plasticine and stuff that they need for thing. We've ordered that, and I think that is being shipped next week. Actually, it's at the shipper in Florida. You got it ready? Yeah. So by next week, they can have a track meet here and set a world record, we hope.
So on track this time from the weekend, Devin Charlton and Shawty Miller-Weibo continuing to shine on the Diamond League circuit. Charlton competing in the women's 100-meter hurdles, finishing second, crossing the finish line in 12:40. She had run national record times of 12:38 and 12:37 seconds in successive weeks. World record holder Toby Amazon of Nigeria won in a meet record of 12:28, which matched her season's best time. In the women's 200 meters, Miller-Weibo had to settle for fourth, but once again turned in a respectable time. She ran 22:42, her fifth straight race under 22:65 this year. Americans Cambria Sturgis and Kayla White finished first and second in times of 22:21 and 22:28 respectively. Next one to Diamond League meet, the Golden Gala Pietro Manea is set for this Thursday at Rome's Stadio Olimpico in Rome, Italy. And in WNBA news, Bahamian WNBA player Jonquel Jones will be honored by the Connecticut Sun, her former team, during the pregame show of the game between the Sun and the New York Liberty on Monday, June 8th at the Mohegan Sun Arena in Connecticut. Jones spent the early years of her professional career suiting up for the Sun from 2016 to 2022. Now she's set to have her number 35 jersey hung from the team's rafters. She will be one of 6 players and coaches to be honored as a Sun legend by the franchise in the team's final season in the state of Connecticut. While she's more endearingly remembered for playing a pivotal role in helping the Liberty win their first franchise title in 2024, Jones built a good chunk of her WNBA resume playing for the Sun, winning a regular season MVP award in 2021 before, of course, winning her first Finals MVP award in 2024 with the Liberty. And that's been a look at your sports on this Tuesday. I'm Amajal Knowles signing out until tomorrow.
Across industries, more women are stepping into careers in tech and energy, but exposure remains key to unlocking those opportunities. For Bahamas Power and Light Company Limited, that impact is already taking shape through representation, engagement, and mentorship.
When I entered the stores, I remember me being 16 years old, entering the Girls in ICT seminar, just wanting to have the opportunity to speak to other females. My opportunity here was to inspire, lead, and guide those who are sitting in my seat now, so then at some years later down the line, they can now then be the set to lead the future generation.
Stories like Christina's help bring the reality of what's possible a little closer to home.
What I learned here today at ICT is that girls just don't have one purpose in life or in their careers. They have very different career paths that they can take that involves technology. One of the speakers talked about 6 ways to set yourself up for success, and those 6 ways I think will really stick with me throughout the rest of my dream career and the rest of my life. So that really excited me to move forward.
I'm guilty. I do like to scroll and consume rather than create and help shape the world and help to expand the world of AI. So I'm excited to take what I've learned and take these little nuggets and use it to the best of my abilities.
You know, AI and technology, that is some of the fastest growing and highest paying jobs there is. So once we get the girls involved early, they would have spaces in leadership. They would also know that there is a future for them in the digital space.
The future of energy isn't just about technology. It's about people.
I know over the years, there's been a push to get more young ladies in the STEM programs, which is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Myself, being an accountant, when I was growing up, I was always good in maths, but there were fewer opportunities. And I think the more we expose our young people to what's available, it definitely will enhance the workplace.
And just before we leave you, we want to check in now with our Diane Dorset for a look at our Tuesday night late night forecast. Good evening, Diane.
Good evening. Our satellite picture shows broad area of tropical moisture across the northwest and central Bahamas. That's coming in from the Gulf and the Caribbean Sea, along with an approaching frontal trough that will enter the northern Bahamas by late Wednesday. Now, that trough is weakening, but as it moves southward, expect periods of showers and thunderstorms for the next several days and leading into the weekend. Now, let's take a quick check on temperatures around the Family Islands. In Freeport City and Green Turtle Key, it is 88 degrees. 82 in Marsh Harbor, Abaco. 83 in Alistown, Bimini, and in Bullocks Harbor, it is 85 degrees. Fresh Creek, Central Andros, 85. Camp Space, South Andros, moving up to 88. In Harbor Island, it is 84 degrees. In Rock Sound, Eleuthera, 85. In Arthurstown, Cat Island, San Salvador, Rumkey, 87 degrees. Georgetown and Exuma, 85, and for our southernmost islands, 88 in Clarencetown, Crooked Island, Ragged Island, Betty Bay, and Auckland, 86 in Matthew Town, Inagua, and for the Turks and Caicos Islands, 85 degrees. So we have a pretty good range between the mid-80s to upper 80s. Now, tonight, what can you expect? A low of 76 degrees, clouds breaking with a couple of showers and humid conditions. And for tomorrow, a high of 83. Sunshine dimmed by high clouds in the morning, then mostly cloudy in the afternoon with a strong thunderstorm in some areas. Now, in your extended forecast, you can expect mostly cloudy days with periods of showers and isolated thunderstorms throughout the week. Some of these showers and thunderstorms could be locally heavy and severe at times, so remember to keep your rain gears close by. Now, the approaching frontal trough will keep things in the lower 80s, as you can see, but as that moves along, temperatures will quickly climb back up into the upper 80s. That's your late night look at weather, and as always, rest easy, stay cozy, and thanks for staying up with us. Have a good night, everyone.
And thank you as well, Diane. And we thank you, of course, for being with us this late night. That does it for our broadcast here this Tuesday evening. I'm Corvell Pytham for Ammo, Diane, and our entire team. You take care, be well, and remember, we will all be looking to see you again right back here tomorrow evening. Good night.
In Harbor Island, North Eleuthera, I'm Charles Fisher. This is ZNS.